Welcome to the Creative Chats podcast with Mike Brennan. Hey, welcome friends to another episode of Creative Chats. It's the podcast for artists, makers, and content creators where we talk about creativity, the creative process, and story. I'm your host, Mike Brennan. I'd love to connect with you over on my website, which is mikebrennan.me. I have a host of resources there created just for you because I want to see you win. I want to see you create. And I know that the difference that creativity has made in my life, and I want to see that happen in your life as well. And so that's why I do this podcast. That's why I create these resources. That's why I continue to show up time and again to cheerlead you on, to tell you that your creativity is important. It matters. And it doesn't just matter to you, but it also matters to the people around you. Even if you're just starting, or maybe you're coming back to it after being away for a long time, or you've been in the middle of it, trying to figure it out and trying to see, can I make this into something as part of my livelihood? Or maybe I want to just keep this as something that's just mine, as a hobby or a passion project, but I struggle with showing up consistently. I have dealt with all these things in my journey over the past 13 years, especially since I came back to my creativity after being away for 10 years. And so that's why I talk about these things. That's why I have these conversations. That's why I have this podcast. And today I want to talk about creative community and the importance of getting together with other creative people. And I'm going to share this clip that I previously recorded. I just had this kind of burning desire to shoot this message out there on social media. And so I thought about it and I said, I think this would actually be a good kind of mini podcast as well. And talking about the importance of creative community is something that's very timely for me because in my new home here in Nashville, I've been getting out to a lot of different groups and meeting a lot of people and trying to figure out who's here and what's going on and what opportunities are here. And so whether you find yourself in a new place or perhaps you've grown up in the place where you still are today, many years later, there are opportunities around you. And if there aren't, maybe there's an opportunity for you to be the catalyst to bring something of creative community. And I just also want to let you know that speaking of community, I have an online creative community. It's called Daily Creative Habit. There is a free Facebook group that you are welcome to join. I'd love to see you in there. It's a place where like-minded creators can come and share some questions, share some work in progress, share just a sense of what's happening. And the more you share, the more you give, the more you get out of it. It's that kind of thing. And I would encourage you, join, if you're on Facebook, join this group. It's designed to help you be encouraged, to have a place to ask questions, to have a place to show work, to have a place to know that you're not alone in this creative journey. And if you're looking for something deeper, I also have the Daily Creative Habit membership. Now, this is a paid membership that it meets monthly. And again, there's a private Facebook group where we post some weekly prompts, and then we have some discussion around that. And then once a month, we have a live Zoom call where you get to ask some questions and have some direct feedback. And I would love for you to be a part of that as well. You can go to dailycreativehabit.com for links to either one of those groups. And I would love to have you part of the deeper community for Daily Creative Habit. So now I want to get on with the show here and bring to you this thought, this rant, this prompt about creative community, and really encourage you to listen with open ears, be open to thinking about community, creative community differently than perhaps you've been going about it. We all have biases. We all have things that get in our way. We all have excuses, honestly. And maybe this is a time when you can be a little more open and accept this challenge from your old Uncle Mikey here. So without further ado, here is my own creative chat with myself about creative community. And now it's for you. Hey, so there's something that I want to talk about, and man, this might be a little bit of a rant or fireside chat, let's say, with your Uncle Mikey. So I've been attending a lot of events here in my new home, Nashville, And these are meetup events. These are artists' meetups. These are places where other creative people hang out. And so much so that someone joked the other night and they said they kind of feel like it's, they never know where I'm going to be. It's like, where's Waldo? Because I'm showing up at a lot of places. I'm going to as many different things as I can strategically because I'm in a new place and I need to meet new people and I want to be around fellow creatives. I want to understand what's happening here. I want to learn. I want to see what opportunities there are. I want to build friendships, relationships, and partnerships and collaboration opportunities, whatever that looks like. But in order for me to do that, I have to get out there and be a presence and let people know me as I get to know them. And in doing this, I've encountered a couple of things that I really kind of want to address right now. And this isn't aimed at anybody specifically. So if you hear this or see this and think, oh man, he's talking about me, do with that what you will. I'm probably not. But at the same regard, there have been a few people that I've just noticed some things and it's made me think about a couple of things. And so that's why this little fireside chat, if you will. And that is when it comes to these opportunities to have meetups, to get together with other creative people, there sometimes is this hesitation. And I've heard it from other people that, I tried, but it wasn't great. I didn't enjoy the group, or I didn't feel welcomed, or I don't know, it's just not for me. Like there's a whole host of excuses as to why they don't want to come out to some of these meetups. Now, I will say, not every meetup is going to be 100%, is going to be fabulous, is going to be something that you should spend your time, especially if you have little of it, going to. You need to protect your energy. You need to be wise and strategic. But at the same time, you need to get out there. That's my point. You need to be a part of a community and not just simply online. And I say this as someone who has an online community. It's important to be able to sit across from somebody and have a conversation, to show work with each other and to laugh and to interact and to high five and hug and do all the things that happens in a community. Now, it's not going to happen the first night that you show up, but certainly as I've continued to go out to things, I've started to see some of the same people, some of the same familiar faces. And it's amazing. It's great. I love it because it is starting to feel a little bit more like home more and more each day. For me, being new here. Now, if you're somewhere where you've been your whole life, it's harder to do that. I get that. And also, you may be in a place where perhaps you don't have local meetups, and the ones that are there maybe don't meet very often or aren't run very well. I get that this is a big topic, but what I want to say is for anyone who is more in the camp of there are opportunities there, but you're not taking advantage of them because perhaps it doesn't look like what you want it to look like. I want to challenge you. Go out to these things, be a part of these things, help make it look like what you want it to look like. Like as creative people, we need to stop hiding in our caves, in our studios, burying ourselves so much with the process of work that we forget to pick our head up and go interact with other people and have this sense of connection and perhaps get into conversations and find out things of what someone else is doing that may actually inform what we're doing as well, or that we can simply just cheerlead them on like we need them to do for us. That stuff doesn't happen when you sit by yourself in solitude continually day after day and don't take advantage of any opportunities to actually engage. Now, I get it. Some of you, I hear you already. You're like, Mike, but you don't get it. I'm very introverted. It's very difficult for me to get out and to meet people and to engage. And I show up and I feel like the wallflower. I feel like I'm invisible and I'm awkward and I don't know what to say. And it just feels gross. I get it. Because there are still times when I enter some rooms where I don't know a soul, and I feel that too. But what I've done is I've told myself, I want to push through that uncomfortableness. I want to push through the awkwardness. And I want to grow as a person and not give myself excuses as to why this won't work or why this isn't for me or why this group pushing the blame on them because it's easier and I don't have to take ownership over my own things that I need to grow in. Look, it's your journey. It's your life. You get to decide what you want that to look like. You get to decide what things you do and what you don't do, who you engage with and who you don't. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but what I am saying is the more open you are to connecting to even people in places that are less than ideal, don't give yourself an easy out. Do the work that it takes to be a part of a true community, of showing up, of contributing, not just taking, not expecting everything to look exactly like you want it to look like, and saying, if it's not, I'm simply not going to show up, because you'll miss out. You'll miss out on so many wonderful opportunities that are right there to connect. Conversations that may never happen because you're not in the room. And so what I'm saying is get in the room. Figure out a way to get in the room. And trust me, things will start to change in one way or another. And again, not every meetup is going to be amazing. Not everything is going to be run the way that you would like it to be run. And maybe there's opportunity for you to get involved in a deeper level to help bring some change of some things. And I know we're all busy people and we don't need more things on our plate. And trust me, I get it, because I'm there too. But at the same time, we need to value this connection of community, especially as creatives. I can't tell you the amount of people that I have talked to lately who have said, man, I feel like I'm so dry and thirsty for this because I have been lacking this. I don't have a place to go and talk about things where people get me, where they understand what it's like to be a creative person, where they understand maybe some of the process that I'm struggling through, or just even dealing with mental health things. And I'm not saying that that's going to be like, hey, you introduce yourself and be like, yeah, you know what? I have a lot of anxiety. I've got some depression and it's really affecting my work and the way I live. And so I'd like to talk about that tonight. Or maybe that is something you do. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to show up and what to do, but what I am saying is I'm throwing down the challenge for you to show up. Stop making excuses. Stop trying to have everybody come to you on your terms, the way that you want it, the way that you want somebody, be the kind of person that you want to come to you. Challenge yourself. Take what's yours to own in this process and in this opportunity and own it. I dare you to go out and be a part of a creative community. I dare you that if there isn't one, I dare you to start one. I dare you to get out of your own way, get out of your own cave, get out of the place that you are just burying yourself with more and more and more work and sacrificing the relationships around you that you need, that they need. Places where things could actually level up for you or bring opportunity or simply just be fellow people in the same room that can root for each other, because we all need that. So that's all I have to say about this, really. And again, just some thoughts that have been flying around my head, some things that have been challenging me as I go out to more and more opportunities for local meetups, for artists, for art crawls, for all the things that are happening. And I understand I'm very fortunate to be in a place where these things are happening. But again, what is yours to own in this? What can you do? I'm throwing the challenge out. Go and do something. It's up to you. Thanks for listening today. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, leave a rating and a review. It really helps this podcast be seen and heard by others.